Welcome to Bright English Point. Today, we bring you an amazing story about Marie Curie, one of the greatest scientists in history. She discovered radium and polonium and won 2 Nobel Prizes. But behind her success, there was a secret love story that shocked the world. Marie fell in love with Paul Langevin, a married man. When their secret was exposed, people turned against her. She faced hatred, insults, and heartbreak. But did she give up? No. She fought back and continued her work. Stay with us to learn Marie Curie's untold love story. Marie Curie was born in 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. Her real name was Maria Sklodowska. She loved to learn and wanted to study science. But in Poland, women were not allowed to go to university. So, Marie moved to France to study. Life was very hard for her. She had little money. Sometimes she had no food. But she never gave up. She studied day and night and became a great scientist. In 1894, Marie met a man named Pierre Curie. He was also a scientist. They both loved science. They worked together in a small lab. Marie and Pierre got married. They were not just husband and wife, they were also science partners. Together, they discovered 2 new elements, radium and polonium. In 1903, they won the Nobel Prize for their work. Marie was the first woman to win this great award. They were very happy. But their happiness did not last long. In 1906, something very sad happened. Pierre was crossing the street when a horse-drawn carriage hit him. He died on the spot. Marie was heartbroken. She lost her husband and her best friend. She was very sad, but she did not stop working. She wanted to continue Pierre's dream. Marie became the first woman professor at the University of Paris. She continued her research on radioactivity, even though it was dangerous. At that time, people did not know that radiation could make people sick. In 1910, she met a man named Paul Langevin. He was a brilliant scientist just like Pierre. He had studied physics and had worked with Pierre before. Marie and Paul had many things in common. They both loved science, experiments, and discovering new things. At first, they talked only about science. Paul admired Marie because she was very intelligent. He respected her hard work and dedication. Marie liked talking to Paul because he understood her passion for science. Over time, their friendship grew stronger. But soon, their friendship turned into love. Marie and Paul began to feel something special for each other. Marie, who had been alone for years, found happiness again. Paul also felt a deep connection with Marie. But there was one big problem. Paul was already married. Paul Langevin was married to a woman named Jean Langevin. But his marriage was not happy. He and his wife often argued. They lived in the same house, but they were not close anymore. Paul wanted to leave his wife, but divorce was very difficult in France at that time. Even though Paul's marriage was unhappy, his wife did not want to let him go. She wanted to keep their family together, even if they were not happy. Marie and Paul knew their love was risky. If people found out, it would cause problems. But their feelings were strong. They started meeting in secret. They spent time together in a small apartment near Marie's lab. They also wrote letters to each other. These letters showed how much they cared for one another. Marie felt alive again. For the first time since Pierre's death, she felt love and happiness. She believed that she and Paul could have a future together. Paul also wanted to be with Marie. He told her that he was going to leave his wife soon. But love is not always easy. Sometimes things do not go the way we want. Paul's wife started to suspect that something was wrong. She noticed that Paul was spending less time at home. She also saw that he was happier when he was not with her. One day, she found the love letters between Paul and Marie. She was very angry. She felt betrayed and wanted revenge. Instead of keeping the problem private, she took the letters and gave them to the newspapers. Soon, the whole country knew about Marie and Paul's secret love story. The news spread like fire. People were shocked. Marie Curie was famous and respected. She had won a Nobel Prize. She was a woman scientist in a time when most scientists were men. Now, people started talking badly about her. The newspapers wrote horrible things. They called her a homewrecker, a woman who destroys families. They said she was a bad mother. Some even said she was not a real Frenchwoman because she was from Poland. Many people turned against Marie. They did not care about her hard work in science. They only saw her as a woman who had an affair. The situation became worse. Angry crowds gathered outside Marie's house. People threw rocks at her windows. They shouted insults at her. She was scared. Marie did not understand why people were attacking her. She was a scientist. She worked hard for her discoveries. Her personal life had nothing to do with her work. But at that time, society judged women more harshly than men. Paul Langevin did not suffer as much as Marie. Even though he was also in the relationship, people blamed Marie more. Marie was heartbroken. The man she loved was now far away from her. The world had turned against her. She felt lonely again. Paul Langevin did not divorce his wife. The scandal made things too difficult. He had to stay with his family. He and Marie could no longer be together. Their love story had come to an end. Even in this difficult time, Marie continued her work. In 1911, she was nominated for another Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry. But the Nobel Committee sent her a letter. They told her not to come to Sweden because of the scandal. Marie was very angry. She said, "My personal life has nothing to do with my work." She traveled to Sweden and proudly accepted her second Nobel Prize. With this, she became the first person in history to win 2 Nobel Prizes. Marie did not let the scandal stop her. She continued her work and opened a science institute. She also trained young scientists, including her daughter Curie, who later won a Nobel Prize too. During World War I, Marie used her knowledge to help people. She developed mobile X-ray machines to help injured soldiers. She even went to war zones to help them. Over time, people forgot the scandal, but they never forgot Marie's great work. Marie Curie died in 1934. She had been exposed to radiation for many years, and this made her very sick. Even today, her old lab notes are still kept in a safe place. They are dangerous to touch because they are still radioactive. Marie Curie is remembered as one of the greatest scientists in history. People do not remember her for the scandal. They remember her for her hard work, her discoveries, and her courage. Her love story with Paul Langevin was full of pain. But it did not define her. What defines her is her passion for science and her never-give-up attitude. Thank you for watching Bright English Point. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories in simple English. See you in the next video.